Well, hello everybody, and welcome back to another MJD Extras video. It's been like over a year since I've posted on this channel, and well, we're back. I've got a little something for you guys here. This is a nice laid-back unboxing of the Grid Studio iPhone 2G frame. Now, if you haven't heard of Grid Studio, this is the company that takes older parts from electronics and game consoles and stuff, and they make a nice frame out of it that you can put on the wall, and it looks really cool. I've thought about buying something from them for a while and just never really got around to it, but they got in contact with me over on Twitter a little while back, and they said, hey, if you agree to make like a tweet about our stuff, we'll send you one of these for free to take a photo of to use in the tweet, and you can keep it. And I was like, well, that sounds really cool. And they let me pick anything on their site. I picked out the iPhone 2G frame, which I wasn't sure if they were going to send me because I think this is like one of the more expensive ones. But they were like, no, yeah, we can send it to you. So here it is. This video, by the way, is not a part of that arrangement. This is not a sponsored video at all. They're not paying for this. They're not paying me at all. They just sent me this for free. Yeah, let me go ahead and just open it up and stop talking here because, well, that's probably what you guys came to see. Or maybe you just came because you're like, oh my god, a new Extras channel video? Like, gosh, hasn't it been like way too freaking long? And yeah, this channel is it's just kind of it is like my side channel. I don't really have a schedule over here at all. This is just like when I have random videos that I'm like, I don't know if this would work well on the main channel. Gosh, I should have got a knife for this. I'm having to like cut this open here with scissors. Oh my gosh, look at this box. This is insane. So it says Grid, Apple reinvents the phone. That was the slogan for the iPhone 2G. Art frame. It says Grid marked, Apple reinvents the phone. Grid marked Apple's, I'm trying to figure out what this is supposed to say here because it just kind of goes, like marked Apple's entry into the cellular phone marketplace. Described by Steve Jobs as a widescreen app with touch controls, a revolutionary mobile phone. Yes, we all know that. Internet communications device. And the, the T in art is actually covering the communication, the C, or the first couple letters of communications. I wonder if this is like a prototype box or something, or maybe like a misprint that they were like, hey, we'll just send it to this guy because people aren't going to see this. Well, sorry guys, people saw the box. But I mean, the box is really nice. I mean, this is you kind of get that Apple vibe, just the way it's laid out. You got some printing on the side here, art framed. And yeah, let's go ahead and just take this off and see. Yeah, I'm still trying to figure out, like, I guess they're missing like the word iPhone up here. Like it just says Apple reinvents the phone, marked Apple's entry into the cellular phone marketplace. So yeah, there's that. And oh my gosh, that is really, I absolutely love stuff like this. This kind of reminds me of like the patent artwork. You know how people will make posters out of that. This is not a patent, but I just kind of get that vibe looking at it. This would go this would go super nice on a wall. The original Macintosh looks like the original iPad, cellular, Apple Watch, an iPhone down here, the original Mac keyboard and mouse, and a side view of the keyboard. Gosh, this packaging is like super nice, I gotta say. Definitely some high quality stuff. I'm thinking of literally framing this on the wall like this. I just love artwork like this. And so there it is. Gosh, that is really nice. But okay, so let's see what this says. Every classic deserves to be framed. Grid Studio. And you got a nice, wow, that's like sealed there. What does this say? I think it says every classic. I think it says the same thing. Oh no, man, I was trying to avoid that. All right, there we go. So we unfortunately tore up a little bit of that. So let's see. Okay, we got a few things here. So this looks like a postcard, or kind of a postcard size thing, although it's a little smaller than a postcard. And it's, I guess, them assembling it. And this right here, Apple reinvents the phone, introduced June 2007. I think this is ooh, that's fancy. Oh my gosh, look at that. Wow, this is like a whole thing. This is, you could set up on your desk or something. So it's like a timeline here. So you got the iPhone 2G all the way to the Okay, so it goes to 2020. So yeah, Apple iPhone 12 Pro. So there's the frame itself, and it looks like, oh, we've got the. Oh yeah, we're gonna have to peel it off. Oh, it's not the really noisy type, I don't think. Yeah, it's not making a whole lot of noise. But anyways, let me go ahead and pull the tab here to lift it out of the package. Yeah, this is the more unpleasant type of film that makes this sound instead of the more satisfying, like, ASMR type thing. This is actually, it's kind of not like, I mean, do you see this here? It's like getting caught. It's getting pinched in the, like, in between the frame and the glass here. I'm slowly, oh no, I'm gonna have to go back and get that out, I guess. Yeah, that's mildly annoying. Alright, so I got a chance to take a look at this a little bit closer, and I'm gonna be completely honest, guys. I am rather disappointed. I was definitely expecting a lot more from this. I feel like I'm actually more impressed with the packaging, even with those couple of typos, than I am with the frame itself. The first thing I noticed is this is not glass. This layer here, this clear layer, is a piece of plastic, and I thought for sure that this was going to be glass. This thing, according to the website, regularly sells for $699. So we'll just say 700 bucks. 700 bucks. Now, I suspect that that's not the actual regular price because it's currently on sale for 400 bucks, and it's been that way for like the past month or so, and I don't think that, you know, they ever really sell it for the $6.99 price. Maybe they do, but there's no like holiday or anything. I mean, Easter's coming up, but this has been going on since like February. So I just suspect that this is one of those sales tactics where it's always on sale, where the sale price is the regular price, which I'm not a fan of at all, but that's what they seem to be doing. Again, I can't, you know, say that for sure, but that's what I'm getting from looking at the site anyways. But even for 400 bucks, I mean, I would think that they would make this glass here. The frame itself is like decent quality. If we flip it over to the back here, I can show you, because this is what I actually did off camera when I started looking at this thing, is I you know, took it apart here to kind of see what the quality of everything was. And I mean, the frame is decent. It's not terrible. These things back here, though, feel kind of cheap. These, like, things that, you know, secure the backing here to the frame. I mean, these could probably break off relatively easily. Let's just go ahead and get these out here. They are, some of them are a little bit difficult to move as well. Although you wouldn't really be doing this. This is the thing, you know, you're not really supposed to take this apart, but they do make it easy to take apart, which is nice. And so we're just going to flip it back over here. And so the entire frame just comes off like that. And so this is the frame itself, and you know, it's like I said, it's okay, but it kind of reminds me of something you'd buy at like Target. I don't know. And it kind of, like, you can see there's some nicks in here. Like you got one right here. In fact, this might have just gotten in it from me flipping it over on the table. Because I don't know. Yeah, it seems like it might. I mean, there's actually some scuff mark. I don't know how well you can see those in there. But yeah, it just kind of reminds me of like one of those Target frames that, you know, you would buy at Target. And then here's the clear layer here. I'm really surprised. I had assumed from everything that I had seen that this was going to be a glass frame, but it's not. So the other thing that stood out to me is there were some tiny little dust particles and stuff inside of the, like, you know, behind this layer here. That's just me being a like perfectionist and just like noticing little things like that. That's what made me take it apart, and then I realized, oh, this isn't glass. So you have this thing here, this like inner layer, which kind of feels like it's 3D printed or something. So there's that. Now, as for the frame itself, I do like the way this is assembled. This was the main thing that attracted me to this stuff in the first place, is I just like the idea of disassembling the phone and kind of labeling all the parts out on a grid very nicely. And yeah, you don't have every part though. Like if you notice, the screen is not here. The front glass is, so that's what this is here. But the actual screen itself, like the LCD, appears to be missing. But Yeah, you've got the back here. This was an 8 gigabyte iPhone, apparently. The other reason why I had to kind of take this apart, or rather just lift this frame up a little bit, which you could do, is to get that protective layer off. Because if you saw when I was taking it off, there were little parts of it that were breaking off and sticking like in this area here, like behind here. So you had to kind of lift this up and reach in there. And that also sucked. I wish that they had used like a higher quality protective film on this. But again, I mean, I'm kind of saying all this stuff and I'm like, this is selling for $400. I mean, I personally, I'm going to be totally honest, I would not pay $400 for this. Grid does have things on their website selling for $150. That to me is more reasonable than paying $400 for this. I'm guessing they're selling this for that much because these iPhones cost more, and I assume they're buying 4 parts iPhones. At least I would hope they are. I hope they're not just like taking working ones and, disassembling them. And that's one of the gripes people have with companies like this that I've seen, because it's not just Grid doing this. There are some other companies out there, but Grid is like one of the more popular ones. There's a lot of people that don't like the fact that instead of like repairing these phones, they're buying them and just disassembling them to make into art. And I can see both sides of that argument. It's kind of like the should you keep vintage software sealed debate. I see those comments every so often because I do occasionally unbox new old stock stuff on my channel, and it seems like every time I do, there's always one guy in the comments who is going like, you should have kept this sealed, you just lowered the value of this, like how dare you. And I get both sides of that. It just kind of depends on what you want to do. I mean, if you have an old rare piece of software that you want to keep sealed, you want to preserve its value, if you want to sell it one day, then yeah, you might want to keep it sealed. But on the other hand, what if that's a rare piece of software that nobody else has ever seen before? Why don't you unbox that, show people what the unboxing experience was like, and then archive the software so that other people can have a chance to experience it? And I tend to lean more towards that school of thought these days because I do that stuff on my channel and I enjoy unboxing stuff and showing you guys what that was like. And then if the software or whatever it is hasn't been archived, then I archive it so that other people can use it. Maybe that'll come in handy for somebody someday. That's how that I look at it anyways. So I can see both sides of this argument too, because if stuff's broken, yeah, maybe you should try to fix it and then resell it or put it on display somewhere. Or maybe if it's broken beyond repair, maybe you'd want to do something like this. I don't really like that they're selling it for as much as they're selling it for. I'm looking on eBay right now and I'm seeing 4 parts iPhone first generation selling from anywhere from like 25 to even up to $100. There's this one that just sold recently that sold for $100 with like $6 shipping. Is listed as 4 parts only, and it says read description. So let me just go in here and see what this says, because the phone itself, hardware wise, looks to be in great shape. The screen does not look cracked. It looks really clean on the back. It needs a new battery. It won't hold a charge. So somebody bought that, and really that's a simple that's a simple repair. And also that's one thing that they're not including in here either is the battery, which makes sense because that is a bit of a hazard if that were to bloat, and yeah, that wouldn't be very good. Again, I don't know what they're buying these for, how much they're spending for each one, and I know they've got employees and they've got like manufacturing costs and all this, but even with all that, I feel like this is overpriced. I'm going to be honest with you. That's my honest opinion. And I think that if they were selling this for like $150, maybe $200, that would be a lot more reasonable. But $400, and they do have some stuff on their website. I'm looking right now in the $100 to $150 range. You've got the Apple processors like the A5X. They've got one of those for $40 on sale. Of course, they all have the sale price, but it's like regularly $60 and you save $20. They've got the iPod Touch for $140, and that's just a bit more reasonable. Still, I probably wouldn't pay that if I'm being honest. I probably wouldn't spend anything more than like $120 on something like this, and I would really have to want it. I'd really be like, I want this on my wall in my office. I don't know. I just was expecting more. I mean, I guess maybe because I had seen a lot of other people doing videos about this, tweeting about it. Everyone was like, this is the greatest thing. And like, I just kind of, I guess got too hyped up over this. I was like, this is going to be amazing. I mean, you probably saw when I got the thing, I was like, this is going to be so cool and da da da. And then I actually unboxed it and I'm like, I mean, it's okay. Like, again, I wouldn't spend $400 for this. I know I keep saying that, but like, I really want to drive that point home that they are asking that much for it. But anyways, that's pretty much gonna wrap it up for this video. I hope this gave you a good insight if you do decide to purchase one of these, you know, just what to expect. And Grid, I do thank you for sending this to me. I thank you for you know, giving me the opportunity. I hope that you take the criticism well. That's the way that I am, guys. I mean, you guys know if you've been watching me, like if something sucks and I don't like something, I'm going to tell you. I mean, I'm not going, like, I'm not being paid by these people. I want to drive that point home as well. This is not a sponsorship. This is not a paid anything. They just sent me this and asked me to not even make a video. They asked me to make a tweet about it. I'm going to do the tweet, but I'm going to link this video in the tweet as well, so that if people want to hear my honest thoughts about this, they can. But anyways, that's all that I have for this video. Hopefully you enjoyed this one. If you did, do all the things that you do when you like a video, and I will see you at some point, hopefully not in like another year, but whenever that I decide to upload another video to this channel.